Okay, the first video I made didn't work very well, so here's another try. I'll try to make this quick so that you can see what you're going to do today. So here was my first example. Notice it's going to help to fold your paper in half, your big blue paper, so that you have enough room for your rainy day writing. Maybe you've already got that done, or maybe you're doing the art project first as inspiration. Some of the other materials besides your big blue piece of paper that you're going to need are scissors, a pencil, possibly a Sharpie or other Crayola marker, a glue stick, and some white glue. Your teacher will have the rest of the supplies and see what options they have in their classroom for other added things. So you can see how I cut out some cute paper for my rain jacket. You can choose maybe one piece of pattern paper. The backside might have an alternate color, maybe some solid paper. You can choose to hat optional. Maybe you want the pattern to be your boots or your pants instead. So you've got options, what parts you want to be plain and what parts you want to be patterned. There are choices that aren't flowers either for those of you that don't want that. So I used the white glue and put the sequins on and buttons if you're using those, and to put on my umbrella, I had carefully opened one of these like this by taking the rubber band off and very, very gently opening it up. On the inside, it has this piece that helps it open, and then I'm just going to kind of near the top help break a couple of the pieces carefully with my thumb to help flatten it out, so it's going to lay a little bit more flat to my paper. Okay, and maybe I'll choose the best side. This one looks broken now, so I'm going to choose the best side to put on. I actually was choosing the one with the broken stick. You might try wrapping your hand around it a little bit and gluing that on. I used the white glue for my clouds. And I'm gonna need to glue this stick into my hand a little bit and maybe hold that there for a few seconds to get it to stay. So maybe I wanna count to 60 and see if it's going to stay down, or leave something heavy on it while it's drying. I used the white glue to help position my hair, and yes, it got on my fingers and stuff. I just need to glue it back down. Notice how I layered my coat and boots over my pants and hands, but my head's on top and my boots are on top. The glue stick can work for those. And then I used Cray-Pas of different colors to make my splashes, and maybe if I want to add some colored sand or something, then I can use a little bit of my white glue to add some of those details. And your teacher may have some other fun options for you as well. Use what you have. So I'm just going to, this might be a teacher job, I'm just going to sprinkle, just like I would with glitter, some of this dark blue sand on. You may have color options, and then I'm going to shake it back into the container just like I would glitter. Oh, I forgot. If I'm splashing in that puddle, I probably got some on my boots. Maybe I even make some motion lines like I would in a drawing, and make sure I get a little bit of puddle splashed onto those as well, or my Cray-Pas would work for that too. All right, once I have that all on there, I can shake it back into the container I hope you enjoy this project, and don't forget your rainy day writing and sign your work, artists. Hi class, this is Mrs. Heiser, and I'm so glad you're here to enjoy this project with me. Here are a few of the beginning supplies that you're going to need. So grab your scissors, a glue stick, a pencil. You might need a Sharpie or maybe a black or brown Crayola marker. And for some of the heavier or thicker items, your teacher might have some squeezable glue for you to use later as well. So we're going to need this piece of blue paper. I like to go ahead and put my supplies in the lid of my pencil or crayon box so that they're not rolling away, but they're nice and handy right where I need them. If you need to pause at any time, get your supplies together, go ahead and do that. I'll show you the project we're going to be working on today. It's this rainy day project, and so here's one I made a few years ago of me jumping in puddles in the rain, and I've got my umbrella with me. And you might have already done your rainy day writing if your teacher asked you to do that already, or maybe you're doing the project first for some inspiration as you think about rainy days and have more to write about. Either way is fine, it's up to your teacher. And so you can see I've used some different materials, and we can talk about different options if you have other supplies available to you and maybe not some of these. So let's get started. So be thinking about a rainy day. You need your white piece of paper, or your big blue piece of paper, and your teacher will have some circles for you, or you could make one yourself. And there's various skin tones here, and so you choose one that kind of looks right for you. And if you don't have a close enough one, then of course you could always choose a kind of an undertone and use some crayons to try to shade it the color that you like. Then you may have some of these scraps from cutting out the circles, and we can just use those to make hands. And I'm just going to make a simple curve for my hand, and I can make a couple of those, or maybe I want to try to curve it a little to see if it's ready for wrapping around the umbrella, and see how that looks later. So I'm not gluing anything yet because I want to layer it and see how I want to glue it on with everything later. So I'll choose which hand I like later. Your teacher may have some solid color papers and some design papers for you to choose from. I would recommend one of each so that you might have a pattern jacket and solid pants, or solid or the opposite, but to each their own. It's up to you. So, or up to your teacher on what supplies they have available. Let's see, my other one was a yellow jacket. I'm gonna do, I kind of liked this bright green. I'm gonna try that one today, and maybe I'll see if I have something nice to go with that. Ooh, I kind of like that. And, ooh, let's see. Those polka dots like I used before. I think I'm gonna go with this one. And so there, I've got that ready. And it might be easier, oops, there we go. Some of these papers have a solid side and a pattern side, or two different patterns, but it might be easier to draw on this blank side. So I'm thinking I think I'm gonna try my coat out of this patterned one this time, and my leggings will be green. Ooh, or maybe I wanna use that for my boots and then either trade somebody or find another color for my coat or make them match. I could do all kinds of choices. All right, so I'm gonna kind of find a part that I like, and again, I have some choices I can make. I would recommend using pencil first and kind of making a sort of a triangle shape. You see what I did there? Yeah. And and it's okay if it's a little skinnier at the top. I'm gonna leave a little bit at the top to layer underneath my head. And I can either draw arms to add and glue on underneath my coat later, or I can try adding them on right now, and I can think about how I want to position my arms. Excuse me. So maybe this arm is kind of outstretched more, holding my umbrella. And if I want one to be sort of jumping for joy, then I might sort of do a V like that, a line out and a line up, and then the end of the sleeve. And raincoats kind of can be bulky, right? So a nice wide sleeve will work for me. And so then I've got that to cut out. I might put where the coat overlaps. Maybe if you have buttons that you could glue on, you could do that. Or you might sort of make it look like buckles. And I could Sharpie this all in later. Maybe you need a collar on your raincoat. So a couple more V's and I'm all set, and I've got enough space to layer it under my head. So maybe it would be easiest to Sharpie that now. And then we'll be ready to cut it out. Just some simple lines. Again, if it didn't work, if you're not liking the sleeves that you made, you could cut those off and add. I could leave them like that, or I could color them in. You can add your sleeves, glue them on separately if you need to. You might erase once it's dry, you can erase your pencil lines. And I'm ready to cut this coat out. Oh, and silly me, I forgot that this is the back side of my coat, isn't it? So I can flip it over and see which way I like it, and maybe Sharpie the other side. Maybe we can try that out now. Ooh, it looks like I should have put something underneath this because I'm getting my Sharpie lines. Most of it's going to get covered anyways. So maybe I'm splashing this way instead. So I can just re-Sharpie that. It was okay that it worked out because then I can see it through my paper. Okay, finished cutting that out. And remember, I'm going to leave a little space at the top that I'm able to layer my head over top. I could make a neck if I want to, but I think I'm just going to say that that's hidden behind my coat. And I'm going to, my arms wouldn't be on top or outside of the coat, right? So they're going to look like they're hidden inside the coat. So I'm going to layer them that way. Now I need to make my pants and boots. And I think wondering if you'd use purple or maybe that pink. I'm gonna make pink boots to match my coat, and my leggings are going to be green. So I can kind of think about how the coat is going to overlap, be over my pants, and I can use my pencil and kind of, I'm gonna be jumping, so I'm gonna make my knees bent. But you can choose how you would like yours to look. And I can make maybe 2 legs the same way, and then leave myself some space, maybe to remind myself I could do this to make sure I don't cut off too much, and leave some space to layer these under my boots. All right, and I know legs don't really look like that, but that part's hiding under my coat. I just want enough that I don't have to, that I have something to layer underneath my coat as I cut it out. And if I don't like the lines like that, I can, from my pencil, I can either Sharpie them, or I can even turn these legs facing the other way to get rid of those lines, and make sure to put all my scraps in the trash. So maybe I'm jumping this way, and I can decide if I want my legs like this or like this. I kind of think if I layer them, jumping like that. Ooh, they have to be high enough where it doesn't look like my legs are at a different weird angle. Okay, and maybe I'll cover some of those black spots I made with my Sharpie. And decide, ooh, I like that angle there. Layer things back underneath. And my head over top. And ooh, boots are next. So I can kind of, again, I want to use kind of the edge of the paper so I'm not wasting a lot of paper, but I need my boots to fit on the end of my legs. So I might kind of turn this. It'll be a little bit wider than my leg. And then just kind of, I think I like that. And then I can make another one. Maybe I give myself a little bit of cutting space. It's going to be a little wider than my leg, like a rain boot kind of. This sort of feels sloppy on your foot, doesn't it? Okay, and I can kind of see, are they about the same size? Do I like them? Another choice I might do is folding the paper. And when I cut it out, there, I'll leave that part so that someone else could use it. And as I cut them out, I might, maybe I liked this one a little better. And if I fold it, I'm cutting out 2 that will be just the same. And then if I don't like the pencil lines, I could erase that, or the boots I can't just flip over because that would look backwards on my legs. But I can erase it. I could put them over a piece of paper and Sharpie them. And there, I've got my matching boots. I can get them angled right on my legs. I need to finish my face. So for that, I like to use just a brown marker. You could also use Sharpie. You could use thin markers. I'm going to look kind of happy. Here's my little nose right in the middle. And I'm gonna make kind of a little smile. And I'm just gonna make my eyes look like they're closed. You could add more details if you choose. And then I'm going to take a little pink crayon or Craypa, these oil pastels, and make my cheeks look like I've been playing outside. Maybe I've gotten a little sun before. Maybe it's a little bit cold out like it is right now for us. And then I need to add some hair. And so I've got some little bundles of yarn. I've got a few colors here, maybe a darker hair. These could be kind of for blonde hair. Here's a brown and some red. And I know those of you with red hair, it's not really fire engine red, so you could use that if you want to. I feel like this is sort of a little bit close. And maybe you get creative and find a way to make it match your hair color a little bit more. Maybe test out some marker or something and make sure that it doesn't end up coming off. So here I can cut it the length that I want it, and see how, ooh, I could make it kind of curly the way my daughter's hair was when she was little. You can choose how you'd like to make it. You can make it little snips for short hair and just put a little bit of glue there and just make little tiny snips. And so just get enough that you feel like it looks like you have plenty of hair and not just skin showing through. So you might need to kind of work at it for a little while and make it right for you. And so here I'm going to look at, like, it has a little part right there where those hairs are coming together, and keep going until I'm satisfied with it. I could also just kind of make it give myself a little space, and maybe I want to wear like a little hat. Maybe I make a rain hat, so kind of maybe a line like that, and then some curved lines, and then I could make a top part with some curves and cut that out. Hat optional, and I can see how I like that. Let's see how it looks, and then I can decide whether I want to keep going with more hair or if I need to fill it in better. Ooh, and did I make the hat too small? Maybe I need it a little bit bigger. Anyways, so keep going, filling in the hair until it looks like you've really got enough of it, that it feels like you. And or you can keep them a little bit longer and just lay them over the top like that, but of course the hat will be layered on last. It's okay if they're a little different lengths and things, and I think I kind of like that once it gets layered. I'm going to need some rain clouds and a puddle to jump in. And you can think about things that you like to do on rainy days. Do you go dancing in the rain with your umbrella, jumping through puddles? And I can choose an umbrella here. I'm gonna use this one that got a little bit broken so that someone else doesn't get it. So when it's time to use these, I just need to carefully take off this, it kind of was a rubber band, they're kind of broken now, and that just needs to go in the trash. This piece can too, or you can pretend that like that's a little handle. And we're trusting that at your age you can handle these. That's why we're using them. So please show that you appreciate doing projects and that you are able to handle these appropriately. So I'm gonna just very, very gently start pulling these out so that I can kind of look like my umbrella is open and then flatten it out. So very, very gentle, because this will rip easily. And then you can choose how you want, how open you want it to look. And this kind of pushes, these are like little drink umbrellas. This sort of pushes open like that. And then I might just kind of need to gently, might sort of, ooh, right here at the top was a good place to sort of flatten that out. Right where it connects to the top piece. And then I can choose a spot to put my umbrella. I may have some cotton balls, and that's the yarn and the cotton balls and the umbrella are where I'm gonna need that white glue to make sure that it stays on good. Here's a piece of cotton ball, and I can just, even one cotton ball can be stretched out to look like lots of different clouds. And there could be some larger ones and some smaller ones. You kind of get how you like those. And on my other one, I kind of gently took an old dark blue or gray Crayola marker after it was glued on and dried, and added just a little bit of darkness to the clouds, because often dark clouds bring us rain. So that's another option, but you're going to want the glue to be dry to add that detail. You could try it before gluing and see how it goes, but you're going to have to try not to get it all over your fingers and wash your hands. And so let's see, I need the rain coming down and the puddles. So you saw on my other one, I used sequins. I thought I'd try a little something different today. This could be my puddle, this could be some raindrops. So you may have some scraps of tissue paper. And maybe you want to do a torn paper look, or you could use your scissors and cut out some teardrop shapes. Maybe you need to draw it first. That would be okay. I'm gonna do teardrop or raindrop shapes. So it's just like an oval with a point at one end could be one idea. And these ones look giant, don't they? I could do smaller raindrops. I could, these ones happen to have some glitter inside the tissue, which is sort of fun. So I could just kind of place these around where I'm gonna want them. And there, I think I like that. Maybe I want some smaller ones. Maybe I want to work on my puddle. And for the puddle, I used some different colors of blue. Maybe I'll get my boot out of the way for a minute. And I just sort of made a curvy splotch. You can get creative with that. And then I sort of like to mix colors. When you look at water, does it all look one color? Or do you see different shades of lots of different blues? And I could make it look like I'm splashing it out. And I love to see how this turns out when the blues get mixed together in spots too. And I can just make sure that that all gets colored in so it looks like the puddle's complete. And add some more splashes, mix up those colors. However you like it. If you have colored sand, you could also put a little glue on top of that. And then just like when you put on glitter, how you shake it off afterwards, that's another option. And so now as I glue this all together, I just need to think about what do I need to glue down first. Not my coat, because that's going to be over my pants and my head, and my arms. So I want to get everything in place, and I might need to put my coat down and pick it back up, make sure my head goes on top as I glue these all together. My boots will go over my pants, my hands will be under my sleeves, and get it all glued on. So don't forget to put your name on your paper, artists, and enjoy this project. And then remember to do your rainy day writing if you haven't yet, and glue it on the other side. I had forgotten to say, you may want to fold the paper in half as you get started to leave room for that rainy day writing. All right, enjoy. You're safe, you're loved, you've got this.